Good evening. Good evening, kings and queens of the land. Good evening, the royals. Good evening to the liberated zones in Africa, Burkina Faso led by the Lion President Ibrahim Traore, Mali led by the tiger himself, General Assimi Goita, and Niger led by Colonel Abdurrahman Dian. Good evening to the MK party, which has partially liberated KZN. The people of KZN have voted for the MK party to lead KZN. But due to the politics of the colonial master, this cannot be uh, realized. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens of this land, good evening. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. This is the Royal Opinion. Today we're talking about several issues that have happened. Actually, there's several issues that we need to touch on. Eh, One of the most important and trending issues today. Thank you very much for joining. Today, this week, some of the issues happening. Thank you very much, Mr. Shongwe, for joining, King Victor Shongwe, for joining. Rejection of the MK party leadership is rejection of democracy. That is King Victor Shongwe saying rejection of the MK party is a rejection of the democracy. On the other hand, we've got Queen Precious Malachi who says would like to subscribe over and over and over again. Please subscribe. Those who are coming in for the first time, please subscribe. Today we're talking about one of the most important issues that are happening in the Southern Hemisphere, the MK party. The MK party pushes together with the EFF against the colonial police of the KZN. Mm, As usual, the police are. Before we actually get into too much details, let me just roll the
Order, honorable members. I have adjourned the House because there was disorder in the House. I have met with the presiding officers. When I met with the presiding officers, I have decided that the four of us has the ultimate responsibility not only to have the House continuing, but also to ensure that the people of this province, whoever they are protected. We noted the violence that was meted on others already. We then, honorable members, decided that regardless of that, we will continue with the voting. Open voting. I am now calling upon those in support to stand in their seats, those against to remain seated, those who abstain to raise their hands. Honorable members, you are reminded. Yes. Honorable members, those in support of the motion of no confidence must stand. Those against the motion must remain seated. Those who abstain must raise their hands. We are counting, therefore. We are counting. Honorable members, you are reminded that you will be counted if you are in your seat. Honorable Kanye, I know to what you are doing to the executive manager, parliament. Honorable Kanye, I know to what you are doing to executive manager, parliamentary services. And I will read my ruling in that regard. Look this side, there are members who are sitting.
The 40 that are sitting are against the motion.
The ones who are sitting are against the motion. The ones who are standing in their seats are in support of the motion. The ones who raise their hands are abstaining.
This is how the voting.
40 against. So they don't have the 41 against.
Honorable members, the secretary has concluded the counting. Nobody speak to the record.
Madam Speaker, the voting results are as follows. 40 members against the motion. No other votes recorded. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. The motion has failed. Honorable Ntuli remains the premier. The House is adjourned. But, honorable members, I will invoke
Lejifuna batala
to all the members
ubani ovotile kuvote bani kuvote bani
in the House.
kuvote bani
The House is adjourned. Senate.
ya ngixoxa thini kun
So this is how the colonial administration decided to bulldoze their way into keeping the premier of the GNU in South Africa. That is how the voting went on. If you saw anything happening there, if you saw any voting happening there, that's how everything happened. The colonial administration of KwaZulu Natal bulldozing their way into declaring that the vote of no confidence against the Premier of KwaZulu Natal of the GNU has failed. But let's talk about what is at stake. Why is the GNU so aggressive? You see, this is the style. This is the mafia style in which people are being governed. Uh, they have monopoly to violence because they've given uh, the police have got guns which represent the colonial government. So they've got monopoly to violence because anybody else who can exert violence to the state is going to be subdued. But when the state exert violence against citizens, the state is not subdued. So the state have got monopoly to violence. So they've got the colonial administration have got their police on their side. This is an escalation which I'm actually happy about. The escalation is the province. This is a fight for KwaZulu Natal, for the province of KwaZulu Natal. Where does this come from? Those who don't know, when voting happened in 2024, the MK party got 48% in KZN in KwaZulu Natal. But the GNU, or the grouping of white parties, decided to group together and unite against the MK party to win the majority in parliament. A group of smaller parties um, uh, collided against the majority, which was the ANC and the IFP, the DA. They all collided against the MK party in KwaZulu Natal. Basically, the people of KwaZulu Natal, in their majority, because the elections have been robbed. Even though the elections have been robbed, the people of KwaZulu Natal overwhelmingly, in their majority, voted for the MK party to lead the province. But because the GNU has got the power and has got the violence, the monopoly to violence, they managed to take over the province and govern it by force. What is the reason they want to govern the people of KwaZulu Natal by force, even though the people of KwaZulu Natal did not vote for them? What is at stake in KwaZulu Natal if they allow the MK party to take over? First, KwaZulu Natal, the budget is about 200 billion, which the National Treasury is allocating to KZN as control. President Zuma is well known to have empowered a lot of black people and created a lot of millionaires during the time when he was president. They fear that President Zuma, when he's got such an amount of budget, is going to distribute that amount of budget among black business people in KZN, and make them rich and sideline their white companies, which may suffer big losses, because at the moment the KZN, or the economy of KZN, is controlled by the colonial master, by the white system. So just the money that comes from the national treasury to KZN, the control, this would give the MK party the ability to send their people in using the government fund to go and help people. They basically would be saving people. They will be traveling around KwaZulu Natal and saving the communities, and the communities will start to trust more of the MK party leadership than any other leadership that is there at the moment. So this is the fear that they have. The budget which President Zuma may give businesses to black people, because he's known to do that. While he was state president, he gave businesses and made a lot of black millionaires than any other president in South Africa. President Zuma is the the leader in terms of empowering black people to run their businesses. So they have the fear that is going to take the 200 billion, which is allocated to the province of KwaZulu Natal, and distribute it among small business people in KwaZulu Natal to share on the wealth of their province. Secondly, KwaZulu Natal has got a port, the Devon port. The Devon port is critical. It's very important for South African economy. If the Devon port is controlled by the MK party, then they need to rest and they need to relax, because now they would have given access to the MK party to the Indian Ocean. If they give access to the Indian Ocean to the MK party, then the MK party and the KwaZulu Natal government will be able to order things that they may not even approve to come into the country. The MK party may even have access to arms. They are suffering. I mean, they are suffering about, at the moment, there's a lot of drugs that are coming through the port of Durban to Southern Africa. In actual fact, to the rest of Africa. These cartels that are running, the mafias that are running South Africa, and the mafias that are running the world, their main business is drugs, and they come through the port of Durban to sell into South Africa. So that would be a major loss for the drug cartels if the MK party takes over KZN, because that port will be controlled by the MK party and President Zuma. So it's going to consolidate his power. Is going to consolidate the power. The MK party will be able to consolidate its power and may even have muscle to be able to move into Gauteng, using the resources which they are gathering from KwaZulu Natal, which the white system or the colonial system of South Africa is afraid that if the MK party have access to such resources, they may as well use those resources, because obviously the Democratic Alliance and the ANC have been using the state resources to campaign for their political parties. So now they know when they give KwaZulu Natal the MK party, the MK party may as well do the same, may be able to gather some resources to be able to campaign in other provinces which the MK party did not do so well in the previous elections. Due to resources, to limitations in resources. So this would be a massive gain for the MK party, should the MK party have won the vote of no confidence, and of which the MK party was going to win the vote of no confidence should the speaker have allowed the vote of no confidence to happen on a secret ballot, because the chief whip, I think the chief whip of the MK party read a message which was sent to him in the morning today, and they said if they vote and remove the GNU or remove the ANC, they should walk around with iron clothes. The message was threatening. They said if they vote against, if they lose their jobs, uh, the chief whip should walk around with the iron cloth. That was a clear threat. That's how open these people are these days. I have said before, Niazala Commission of Entertainment, it's just a game. I have called it Niazala Commission of Entertainment. Now they are saying all the reports, all of the things that thousands and thousands of people were watching is going to be sealed. They are not going to reveal it to the public because this is the state of the mafia. Now people must go to strike or go to fight wherever they want to go and fight, and they won't go to court because the court, they are not going to be allowed in the course. This is the Roman Dutch law, and they manipulate the law according to how they want. So if you take the case to to the court, that's where they want you because that's where they have firm control. They've got firm control. This is their game. If you go to the street, that's where they want you because they've got the police and the soldiers, and they've got the monopoly to violence. They've got the guns. They are not only ready, they are even willing uh, to kill for the sake of Britain, to remain in power. For the sake of the Queen, they are willing to push. King Victor Shoma says democracy is a black hole for African liberation. The system is crafted to maintain the status quo, together with vote rigging at national level. Black people need a different approach. A different strategy is needed. Uh, this is what we are talking about today. In actual fact, this confrontation with the colonial administration, with their police, this confrontation, it's actually what is needed to actually kickstart the process of liberating Africa, because there will always be a pushback. They will always try and improve the way in which they are oppressing people. Uh, Vote rigging, it's their name. They are not even ashamed. They do it even openly. You saw this is open vote rigging. Nobody voted, but they've got numbers. Nobody voted. There was no order. People were singing in parliament, but they have numbers that somebody voted this and somebody voted this. And if you ask them of the names of the people who voted, they will even give you the names, because this is the masters of vote rigging. If you're coming here for the first time, click the like button and subscribe. Share the video. My name is Mgonim Konto. You are at the Royal Opinion. Today we're discussing the importance of what was happening. It will go down in history. the importance of what was happening today. It will go down, it will be recorded in history as the first struggle of against neo-colonialism. Neo-colonialism is not a terrifying word. It only means new colonialism. Neo-colonialism means new colonialism, and the new colonialism is debt. That's why I'm actually even shocked at the slave trader Julius Malema. I'm actually shocked at how he behaved when he talks about how the G20 is successful in South Africa. G20 is successful in which way? When um, already South Africa per capita, when we talk about per capita, we talk about per head. We are already owing European and the American people per person. We already owing round about 8,000 that somebody has to pay to Europe and Britain on daily basis, meaning our debt, the South African debt to the IMF and to all these European countries. Each person in South Africa is required to pay 8,000 rand per year. That's what the amount that SARS is supposed to collect from black people who are already over indebted. So the success of the G20 meant more debt into South Africa. Julius Malema promoting debt into the future of South Africa. And this debt is not necessarily spent in with your companies. It is actually what they do. They would hire their own companies to come and do the project in your country, and maybe give 30% to them. Cyril Ramaphosa and his friends and his close circle they will give those 30% to those, but the rest of the job will be done by the European companies. The money would not even 80% of the money would not even be reflected in any South African bank. The payments will go through in the US dollars, in euros, in all those. But at the end of the day, the person who is going to pay the money is the future South African who is going to be taxed. Is the poor South African who is going to be taxed while his minerals are being stolen. He is being exploited through tax as well, instead of being tax free, because they are taking from the minerals. The trucks that are going to Limpopo in Skukune for platinum and for chrome and for gold, the trucks that are, it's massive machines that are traveling to that side. These people are mining, they're not playing massively, and they're taking out of the country. So South Africa need confrontation. I don't know what kind of a confrontation is gonna be, but a confrontation is needed. In the Sahel, a plane which was carrying 11 Nigerian soldiers was forced to land in Burkina Faso. And the Nigerian government says the plane was headed towards Portugal. When they were requested to answer on what the plane is doing in Burkina Faso, they said the plane was headed to Portugal. But Burkina Faso contacted uh, Portugal and they requested information regarding the landing of this plane or the schedule of the plane that was supposed to come from Nigeria on that day, which it find itself in Burkina Faso. And Portugal said they did not have any Nigerian plane which was coming to land in Portugal on that day. So Portugal rejected the notion that the plane was actually traveling to Portugal. And now President Ibrahim Traore or the Burkina Faso authorities have decided to arrest those soldiers and to take them through the Burkina Faso courts. They are not going to be released through diplomacy. They are going to go through the courts. If they are found innocent, they will be released. If they are not found innocent, they will be taken to serve their sentence. This is a confrontation in the Sahel. This is the confrontation that we need. The confrontation that would basically break and escalate, because if we don't escalate this, if the Sahel don't increase, if the members of the Sahel states are not increasing, then the current members of Sahel state are risking to be toppled, because it's only 3 against 52. 3 against 52. So if it's 3 against 52 states, then the odds of surviving is less. But Nigeria is promising to attack. They are threatening to attack Burkina Faso if they don't release their soldiers. But Burkina Faso is saying the investigation is revealing a different issue than what the Nigerian authorities are saying. So in South Africa, this is the confrontation which is currently happening. The port of Durban, which is critical for South Africa, for the drug cartel, for the economy of KwaZulu-Natal, cannot be risked and be given to the control of President Jacob Zuma, because the economy is just massive in that province and is going to distribute the economy among black people. Then it's going to be trusted by even more people. It's going to expand to the rest of South Africa. That's a good foundation or a good base for him to expand. That they don't want. pushing against the people who are elected, who are the majority in the province, who have been elected by the people of KwaZulu Natal, to show that democracy is just nonsense. It's actually something that they use to manipulate black people. There's no such thing as democracy. It's only demon. It's actually demon crazy. Demon crazy. There's no democracy. It's demon crazy. This is demon crazy type of situation. So these people are using democracy to manipulate black people. When they have to apply democracy, the people of KwaZulu Natal have voted, and in their majority have said they wanted the MK party to lead. The MK party is not allowed to lead the KZN. Give us your opinion. Tell us what you think at the end, and what you think about the confrontation that is happening in KwaZulu Natal. Because I don't think this is the end. I think this is the start of the confrontation. Confrontation between the MK party of President Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma and the colonial police, the colonial administration police, clashes with the MK party of President Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma in parliament in KwaZulu Natal, when President Zuma wanted to take over the province to govern and to remove the criminals which are currently governing KwaZulu Natal. Give us your opinion. What do you think about the discourse? What do you think about what happened in the legislature today in KwaZulu Natal? How do you think the MK party should continue after the start of this confrontation? Because this was head on to the colonial administration. You see, they are ready with the police. Police are not allowed to enter parliament. They are not permitted to enter parliament, but this is colonial administration. They can do whatever they want, even illegal things. They are able to push through. They were able to rob the elections in 2024, and they pushed through Cyril Ramaphosa in our throat, and nothing happened. So even here, they after this vote of no confidence, the colonial administration using force there, using the colonial police to come and push the MK party out of the parliament of KwaZulu Natal. Are they going to succeed? Give us your opinion if you think they are going to succeed, or you think the MK party is going to succeed. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. Excited to talk to you. Click the like button and subscribe. Share the message. Click the bell so that next time you get notified when I go live. Thank you for joining the live discourse. Bye bye and enjoy your night.